I've kind of been off social media for about 2 weeks. Oh shit! I've been off social media for about 2 weeks now. Um, it's been nice. I haven't been fully off social media. I've been off and on. I fell into the trap of like deleting all my social media apps except Instagram, and then I would just doom scroll Instagram. I'm like, well, this is just defeating the purpose. But my recent absence, as far as bodybuilding goes, I hurt my foot really bad a couple weeks back, and I took a deload week out of the gym. And to be completely honest, I needed that, but it completely spiraled into me basically fucking off on everything I'm doing, from food to like what I eat to my day-to-day habits to everything. And I needed the deload physically and mentally from the gym. That helped a lot. Like my foot's better, my lower back has healed a little bit, and that was really good. But the habits and tendencies that I once was held victim to when I was younger, whether that be food, fucking doom scrolling, whatever, what have you, I fell back into that trap. And the reason I'm making this video, and I'm probably gonna still be pretty off social media until I get all my ducks back in a row, as far as from a physical standpoint and like a diet standpoint, because like I'm gonna be completely honest, I've really fucked off the past 2 weeks. And I would I would use the rationale and validate with myself, like, oh, I'm just young, I can fuck up when I'm young, it's okay. And I would just keep repeating the same mistake with my diet and like binge eating and shit. And it's like, dude, you can undo a fuck ton of work and a lot of progress in a very short amount of time. And I never thought that was true. I didn't think that and not saying that these past 2 weeks has completely derailed everything for me, but like it's taken a toll on me, and I didn't realize it would make that big of an impact. So it's like, someone posted on Instagram quite a while ago, Austin Stout put on Instagram, and it was like, do not beat yourself up for something that only time could teach you. And I think that's kind of the overarching theme of the past 2 weeks for me, is like, I needed to go through this shit to realize, like, hey, this is a road that you could lead down, that you could go down if you don't have this overarching goal or purpose or thing that you're driving towards. And that's kind of the reason that I made this video today. As y'all see, one thing I have been doing a lot more is getting out and doing stuff. So right now, and something I suggest you guys go to, separate tangent, I suggest to a lot of you guys to take solo trips and solo going out and about and doing stuff. Me personally, I like being in the driver's seat of like whatever I'm doing at like an outing like this, so I can do what I want. And I know it's kind of selfish or whatever, and I just don't have friends. So like, that's also an excuse to validate me not having friends. But I'm doing a lot of solo trips, solo things, and just getting out and doing stuff. And today I drove like an hour and a half away from my town down to this little river. And then today is also the release of the Mario movie. And another side tangent before I get to the main point of the video, I used to be a big Mario fan, like on the little Nintendo DS. And so when I saw that movie was coming out today and it released at this theater up here, like, I gotta go to that. So that's the reason I'm up here, and just a little solo vacation. But the main reason I wanted to make this video today, coming back from my little crash out these last 2 weeks and getting back to the whole rhythm of everything, is having some kind of, people always talk about having purpose or having a goal or something, but I think the reason that people fall into such bad habits and into such bad loops of, whether it be drinking, porn, getting into a bunch of relationships, binge eating, what have you, is because they don't have something to take up the rest of their time and the rest of the space in their head with some kind of purpose or goal. It doesn't have to be some humongous, life altering goal, but it needs to be something, whether it be like getting a couple extra hours at work, whether it be getting a 5 points higher on a test score, whether it be losing 3 more pounds in this amount of time frame, but just something to fill up your brain with purpose. And the more selfless that those things can be, even the better. So like the more like maybe I want to help this many people, I want to connect with this many people, I want to spend this much time with this family member or whatever. The more selfless, the better, because I think the more selfless that we can become as people, the better we become in general, and like the more you can say, the more like good luck you'll accumulate or whatever. But just what I've gathered from these past 2 weeks of basically just being a fucking degenerate is I can see why a lot of people, younger people nowadays, say they're lost and say, I don't know what my purpose is in life. And when you don't have that overarching goal that you are shooting for on a day-to-day basis, you will fill that time with something. And in the 2026 ecosystem of things to do with your life, most of it usually is not good. Most of it's bad things, or things that'll keep you lazy, keep you on the couch, keep you not doing anything with your life, and keep you comfortable, you know? And that's what I realized. I could see myself going into that trap. And it's almost like I'm glad these past 2 weeks happened to put myself in a shitty position to realize like how important a goal or a purpose is to have in your day-to-day life. Because like I let everything go to the shit these last 2 weeks, and I'm finally getting back to it. Like on a bodybuilding note, I don't have a coach anymore. I've started to do my own thing because I didn't want Justin. I didn't want to be a burden to him because I have some personal things that I need to work on, whether it be like, you know, like issues with food, or whether it be issues with whatever or what have you. I didn't want to be a burden to him, so like, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I think doing my own thing, like being my own coach for a little bit, and having like a little bit of autonomy, I think that's the word, of what I'm doing, has helped a lot. But on the bodybuilding side, that's really all that's changed. I don't have a coach anymore, which is, you know, whatever. But I am glad these past 2 weeks have happened to kind of, you know, I knew like having a goal before was very important. Having a purpose that you wake up every day and you have something you're shooting for is very important. But I didn't realize it because for so long I've had this goal, and this is just kind of how I lived. Like this is how I've lived as a goal-driven person. And then to step out of that thinking for a little bit made me realize how important it is. And I want to make that point to you guys, is that if you just feel like you go in day to day, you wake up, shower, work, school, maybe you go to the gym, maybe you don't, home, shower, sleep, repeat, you will fill your mind with something, like I said. And most of the time that's going to be something negative. And I just truly believe that if you have some kind of goal or something you're shooting for or whatever that you can think on, your life will improve tenfold. That could be health, finance, spiritual, physical, you know, whatever. I just think that, yeah, I think that if you feel lost in life, or you feel like you're just kind of living, you're going day to day, and you're not making any moves in your life or whatever, just have some kind of goal you're shooting for all the time. And I'll get back to posting like training, bodybuilding stuff, and more content in general in the future. I still want to stay off social media quite a bit. For how long, I don't know, but it's been nice. And if this is a sign to take a break from social media, that if you've been wanting to, this is a sign. Because dude, life, this is another side tangent I can go on, but there's little minute things that happen in life that when you're so glued to your phone, you miss and you become blind to them. And the thing that I've gained from social media absence the past 2 weeks is like little things in life that like are so cool or beautiful. Like people smiling, I see these people hugging over here, or this or that, and just being off of the bullshit. Because like we all know, social media is just like, it's negative. It's what's going to get your attention. So it's the crazy shit, and then half the time, the crazy impressive stuff you're seeing, you're going to compare yourself to them, and then you're going to hate yourself even more. Or then the next reel you see, the next reel or TikTok you see is going to be something negative, like, I don't know, some Iranian getting his head blown off. So it's like, when you take a step away from all of that, life becomes a lot more simple. Life becomes a lot more pretty and beautiful, and you can start focusing on shit that actually matters. Like if I didn't have like a little coaching business and bodybuilding, I would not fucking have social media. Like I would have like YouTube for podcasts, and that is it. That is fucking it. But as far as all that goes, I have some like physical goals. I'm cutting right now. I want to get back down to like 180, and then once I get back down to like 180, probably gonna talk to a guy I know to get into his coaching. But until then, I kind of want to do my own thing. Just been like experiment with different foods and stuff like that, and just like different diet types and this kind of training. Not into it, not like an idiot, but just kind of like go in there. I know what to do. I know how to train hard. And now that my foot's finally better and my back's better, I can actually train pretty hard. So all that's going in an upward spiral or upward trajectory, you could say. But just want to get on here and kind of give you guys a little bit of an update of where I've been, how much of a fucking degenerate I've been, accepting that, and then moving on. But the one message I wanted to get across to you is that if you feel lost, if you whatever, like if anything among those lines, two things that kind of correlate. You need to have a goal or something you're shooting towards every day. And if you do have a goal that you're shooting towards and you still have those feelings, your goal is not big enough. You need to make that goal bigger because it's making you bored. So those are my two messages. The reason I came down here is because I wanted to get all my steps in for the day before I go watch that movie and sit down for fucking 2 hours. But I love you guys. If you're still watching, if you see this video, that means you've stuck around for the past 2 weeks that I've not been present. So thank you so much. God bless you guys. And I will see y'all, I don't know when, but I'll see y'all again soon.